Hi guys, Matt here from the Traveling Together Journal, bringing you another camper build update. I built this custom hard-sided pop-up camper on my Toyota T100. I've gotten it out driving around a little bit now, but I still have a lot of projects I want to do to it. Today, I'm going to build an adjustable, removable surfboard rack in the driver's side storage compartment. I started by building the mount that the rack arms will attach to. I am using a piece of aluminum extrusion that was previously an ARB awning mount. I cut the material to length, cleaned up the ends, drilled out mounting holes, and cut holes for the mounting hardware to recess into. Then I dry fit the mounts in the camper before attaching them with Sikaflex 221 and through bolting them to the camper wall. Next, I used some bits of thin steel tubing and steel plate to build the rack arms. The tubing was cut to length and cleaned up so that I could weld it to the small pieces of steel plate that I cut out with an angle grinder. Each plate was given 4 mounting holes before getting welded onto the tubing. All of the rack arms were coated in Rust-Oleum rusty metal primer and enamel, then attached to the aluminum mount with 4 bolts each. The aluminum extrusion holds the bolt heads so that they can't spin while allowing them to slide vertically. This lets me add, remove, or adjust the height of the rack arms, then tighten the nuts to secure them in place. I used simple bungee cords to hold the surfboards onto the rack arms. I stripped the plastic off of one hook on each of the bungees and reshaped it to fit snugly around each rack arm. Then I tacked it in place so that it won't slide or come off the arm. Each arm is padded with self-adhesive nitrile foam tape. Unfortunately, the adhesive wasn't working great on the tight radius of the rack arms, so I secured it with hook and loop, aka Velcro, double-sided strap. I am quite happy with my results. The rack accommodates surfboards up to 6.5 feet long. I can fit up to 3 boards with each one having its own rack for easy access. Or I can remove the fins and adjust the rack arms to accommodate more boards or to accommodate other equipment like snowboards or fishing poles. Having the rack inside the storage compartment allows me to securely stow my equipment away from the hot sun, scraping branches, and sticky fingers, while not tracking sand or snow into our living space. This is definitely an upgrade from our previous setup. Next up on my to-do list is mounting and wiring a light bar. Auxbeam sent me this 42-inch LED light bar they call the 5D Pro. I decided to mount it in my front bumper to keep it as discreet as possible. So I removed the front bumper and used an angle grinder to cut out a hole in the bumper for the light to shine through. I made a couple of Z brackets by welding together some pieces of angle iron. These will give me an easy place to secure the adjustable mounting brackets that came with the light bar. I test fit the Z brackets with the light bar and the bumper in place, and when I was satisfied with the fitment, I welded the Z brackets onto the truck frame. I cleaned up the welds in the surrounding part of the truck frame and coated it in rusty metal primer and stop rust enamel. The bumper and grille were also painted black before I reassembled my front end. My front bumper was already dented, scratched, and rusting, so going into the project I wasn't really worried about making it look perfect. The black aluminum frame on the light bar goes nicely with the black bumper and grille, and I'm happy to finally get rid of all that shiny chrome on my front end. Wiring the light bar was super easy with the included wiring harness from Auxbeam. I mounted the rocker switch in my dash, ran the wires through my firewall to the battery, and plugged in the light bar at the other end. The most important thing, of course, is how it performs. The stock lights on this 29-year-old truck are pretty dim. Now this is with the stock brights turned on, and now with the light bar. For another look, this is the street with no lights on, and then with just the light bar. We don't like to drive at night, but we do occasionally get into camp later than planned, or start driving before the sun rises. Having this powerful light bar from Auxbeam will help keep us safe on those occasions. Well, that's it for now. Remember to subscribe so you don't miss out on any future videos, and as always, thanks for watching.